Hi everyone, this is Puneet. I'm the practice head at Animate Sinha and Partners, and today we are discussing deepfakes. To begin with, I have timestamped this video so you can jump to the part that is most relevant for you. Otherwise, we're going to start off by understanding what deepfakes are. Deepfake is when data is manipulated and altered in a very convincing way to misrepresent information, such that the person who is viewing the information is deceived into believing something false, something that is not true. So that is the basic concept of a deepfake. But let me try and uncomplicate this further. The word deepfake is a combination of the word deep learning and fake. So I think this makes it more clear that when deep learning technology is used to create fake content, that is effectively what deepfakes are. The most common form of deepfakes that we are coming across over the internet are audios, videos, images of people which have been altered and manipulated into showing them as saying or doing something which they actually did not do or say. There was a point of time when not anybody could create a deepfake. It required a lot of experience, it required a lot of skill. But now, as generative AI is growing, almost anyone can create a deepfake content using one of the generative AI tools. That is why generative AI, apart from all the benefit it comes with, is also creating a lot of concern across the world. And some of those concerns are starting to now show up in India too. In fact, some of our very own celebrities like Sachin Tendulkar, Anil Kapoor, and Ranveer Singh have already fallen prey to deepfake content.
Legendary cricketer Sachin Tendulkar has fallen prey to the dangerous trend of deepfakes.
The latest victim of deepfake videos, actor Ranveer Singh.
Now, these celebrity cases are just some of the high-profile cases which have caught media attention. Beyond them, every day, thousands of people are falling victim to deepfake content. It is very important to understand that the potential for harm using deepfake content is very huge. It can range from spreading misinformation to damaging somebody's reputation to even altering political discourse. So let us now try and understand if we have laws to deal with deepfake content. Now, if I were to ask a very pointed question, do we have a law that deals specifically with deepfake content and prescribes punishment or liability for creating such content? Well, the short answer is no. But short of that, we have elaborate laws that deal with the menace of deepfakes. For ease of understanding, I can break down these laws into say three categories. The first one being special laws, which are actually laws that are applicable to a particular sector for a particular concern. Other are general laws, which are applicable across sectors and industries, which have a very general application. And third one could be executive orders and directions. Now, this is not a formal classification by any means. This is just for the sake of understanding only. So now let us come down to special laws first. The primary statute that comes into picture when dealing with deepfakes is the Information Technology Act. The Information Technology Act was enacted to prevent crimes emerging out of new technologies. That is why the Act makes publication and transmitting of obscene material, violation of privacy, impersonation as an offense, which is punishable by imprisonment up to 3 to 5 years and fine. Now, under the Information Technology Act, we have a bunch of rules. These rules lay down how we govern the information technology sector as a whole. Broadly speaking, these rules categorize different classes of data. They prescribe reasonable security procedures and practices on how data is to be collected, stored, transferred, shared, etc. They regulate platforms which allow creation of content and publication of content. Now, in legal terms, these platforms are often referred to as intermediaries. These rules also lay down the mechanism for decryption, for monitoring, for interception of data. And most importantly, these rules provide a mechanism for taking down of harmful content, which can be in the form of deepfake that we are discussing. In addition to the Information Technology Act and the rules made thereunder, we also have the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. This was enacted last year on 11th August 2023, but it is yet to come on force. This is popularly referred to as DPDP. And this is sort of a parallel legislation to like that of European Union's GDPR. It also deals with how personal data is to be collected, processed, transferred, shared, etc. etc. Now, in addition to these special laws, we have certain other general laws. While there are several general laws that can help curb the menace of deepfake, the two most notable ones are the Indian Penal Code and the Specific Relief Act. I think we all are aware of Indian Penal Code. It enlists offenses like cheating, forgery for the purposes of harming somebody's reputation, defamation, fraud, etc. etc. Now, on the basis of the provisions of the IPC, one can file a criminal complaint against cases of deepfake also. The second most notable general legislation would be the Specific Relief Act. It is a civil legislation which provides remedies for breach of civil rights. To name a few remedies, it provides for rendition of accounts, it provides for award of damages, it provides for restraining orders, which are popularly referred to as injunctions in legal language. These reliefs can be made use of to take down deepfake content from the internet. It can be used for seeking monetary relief for the losses caused because of deepfake content, and it can be used for prohibition of publication of any deepfake content. Coming down to executive orders and directions, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology plays a vital role in monitoring and regulating platforms that allow publication and creation of digital content, along with its users, of course. In fact, only recently on 15th of March 2024, the ministry came out with a direction. As per these directions, every platform that allows creation of content should embed the content created using its platform with a label. This label should allow identification of the platform that was used to create this content, the computer resource that was used to create this content, and the user who created this content. The direction further makes it very clear that any non-compliance with the direction or applicable acts and laws will lead to prosecution of not just the platforms but of the users as well. Apart from all the laws, our judicial system is also very perceptive of the new challenges arising out of emerging technologies like generative AI, to the extent that it has been interpreting existing laws to address new grievances. Let me help you understand this with the help of few case studies. Anil Kapoor versus Simply Life India was a case where the allegation of the plaintiff was that all the defendants were in some manner utilizing various features of plaintiff's persona and were misusing the same in malicious ways. The High Court of Delhi observed the perils of artificial intelligence as the technological tools that are now freely available make it possible for any illegal and unauthorized user to use, produce, or imitate any celebrity's persona by using any tools, including artificial intelligence. It further said that the court cannot turn a blind eye to such misuse of a personality's name and other elements of his persona. Dilution, tarnishment, blurring are all actionable torts which the plaintiff would have to be protected against. Under these circumstances, this court has no doubt in holding that the plaintiff's name, likeness, image, persona, etc. deserves to be protected, not only for plaintiff's own sake, but also for the sake of his family and friends who would not like to see his image, name, and other elements being misused, especially for such tarnishing and negative use. The court ultimately directed the removal of all unauthorized and deepfake content in relation to the plaintiff from the internet. Notably, in this judgment, the Delhi High Court has also expounded the law on personality rights of people. On similar lines was the case of Akshay Tana versus John Doe. In this case, the plaintiff was a senior executive of a private equity advisory firm. The plaintiff filed a suit saying that unknown people have been associating themselves with the plaintiff without his knowledge or consent, and that they have been misusing his reputation and goodwill in the industry. In this matter too, the Delhi High Court went ahead and directed all unauthorized content and accounts to be taken down and deleted. Did you notice how this case has been filed against a John Doe? John Doe is a misnomer for unknown persons. Filing a suit against a John Doe or unknown persons is not a new concept. But why I find it worth mentioning is that in case of deepfake abuse, it might not always be necessary to identify the perpetrator. So long as deepfake content is live over the internet, directions can be sought against unknown persons for taking down of this content. Another case worth mentioning is Gaurav Bhatia versus Naveen Kumar and others. While the Delhi High Court has allowed taking down of content in this case as recently as on 16th of April 2024, the actual decision is yet to come. But what this case highlights is that civil cases can be instituted for recovery of financial damages for loss of reputation. Now that we have seen that we have adequate laws to deal with deepfakes, and that judiciary is also playing a very important and active role in dealing with the menace of deepfake content, the question arises how effective these remedies actually are. The effectiveness of these remedies depend upon the facts of each case and the relief sought. Some reliefs, like removal of content from the internet, prohibition of publication of deepfake content, are by their very nature expeditious and therefore can be very effective, while some other reliefs like grant of financial damages for loss to reputation and goodwill, or prosecution for offences like cheating, forgery, violation of privacy, impersonation, etc., they require an adjudicatory process to be gone through. The length of this adjudicatory process depends upon various factors, but if dealt with properly under proper legal guidance, These remedies can be equally effective, though slightly time consuming, but more permanent in nature. And with that remark, I sign off. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.